Compass FM, the widest music variety. And welcome me into the studio for a normal Tuesday morning chat. Mayor Dan Gordon of the Waimak. How are you, Dan?
Good morning, Kerry.
Hey, this park and ride thing, how's it going?
My understanding is it's going really well. I've just picked up on Facebook from friends and others that are using it, and anecdotally the feedback we're getting through our council staff is it's going particularly well. Hey, these I think it's till the end of this week it's free.
Yep.
So after that we'll be able to discern whether it's working. But if you're working in town and you can find that the route works and you can get connections, why wouldn't you use it?
It's a no-brainer, is it?
Well, I think it is, and I intend to, where possible, use it as much as I can as well. I don't go into town that often, but the times I do, then if it all works, then I certainly would try.
About 45% of North Cantabrians commute into the central city every day, or into the city every day. It would just be like, if you have to park outside the avenues to walk into the central city, you may as well ride the bus into the central city and then walk to where you got to go.
Well, I remember when I worked in the city, you had to park quite a distance and walk, which was good for me, I must say. But if I had that option, then I certainly would have used the buses, and I could have parked my car at the bottom of Tram Road and walked and taken the bus. So it would have been a great option.
Have you been able to get hold of the appropriate authority at EQC?
Not yet, but I will. It's on because I'm on that committee, so I'm going to talk to them about a start time. In fact, I ran into the lady you mentioned the other day and talked to her then. So I've got a meeting on Friday with some of our staff, and I'll have a chance to talk with them then. But if it can start early, then we would certainly be. I would certainly be supportive of that. But at the moment, it's a trial to see how it's going with those times, and 6:30 was the earliest start time. But if we need to pull it back to 6, it's going to get more usage, then that's something we can certainly clear.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's move on from the Northern Corridor and that particular commute, because I want to talk about another real headache as far as traffic is concerned, and it's not Wood End, it's Southbrook Road.
Yeah.
That's incredibly congested.
It's one of the busiest roads in our district, 26,000 vehicle movements compared to Wood End at 23,000. Certainly we're doing our work on that at the moment in terms of investigating options. Some of them may be 4-laning through part of there at times, as well as there's some congestion points with the schools, so we're looking at safer crossing areas, possibly additional lights to help with that movement. There's no one single magic fix there. We're looking at all our roading around there. Fernside, Flaxton's getting upgraded. There's a roundabout going in there. We're really pushing NZTA hard to get the Skew Bridge built. Just doesn't meet the criteria at the moment. But we've got work we're doing on that, and then further over we're protecting a corridor basically where the railway line is at the start as you come into Rangiora there. We would look at putting a bypass there which will connect out around the Horncastle subdivision in Rangiora, so that's what we call sort of an eastern route. And we're working on the western area where we're putting a bypass where the pylons are. So we've protected and bought all that land, so we're starting that exercise on the other side now, but that's a major multi-million-dollar cost, but we've got to protect it. If we don't start to do something about it, then it's going to become a bigger problem. I'm not saying it's not, but there are other options for people to start to consider their routes into the city, and we're trying to make those flows easier, but Southbrook is certainly one that is on my list as a priority.
Brilliant, and as it should be too, between you and I. So interesting that...
Well, it's between you and I and the Compass audience now.
Thousands of people just heard what you said then, and what I'm saying.
So we'll keep it to ourselves.
We just keep it on the down low, okay? But that is actually interesting, because this isn't a NZTA. This is the Waimak District Council.
It is, but we rely on because we get 50% subsidy generally for projects, so we do rely on that because it helps our costs. And so when you fill up at the service station and through the taxes, that contributes to that. So we do need their support to make those projects happen. Otherwise, we're funding it completely by ourselves, and 100% of cost. Why wouldn't we look for subsidies? So, in fairness to NZTA, we do pretty well there. I'd really like the Wood End bypass and the other projects built, as I've certainly made it very clear, and that's why when I became mayor, I set up a transport portfolio, and that's one that I lead, because transport issues are really important to our district.
We're a district of commuters. The Kaiapoi cycleway on the Main North Road there, south of Kaiapoi itself. Is there an ETA on when that's going to be finished?
Oh, I haven't got the latest update. We just approved pre-Christmas the Pariki Street link through there. We've done a lot of work with residents down there, so that'll be a link through, come down through Rangiora, and you'll be able to go through along the Passchendaele Path and link through there. I can get one for you, but I just haven't got that right at the moment. I went past the other day and construction was well underway there. So.
Yeah, no, it is busy. In fact, that's I'm just looking at the congestion map right now, and that's the main hold up around North Canterbury is south of Kaiapoi on the Main North Road, and of course on Flaxton Road as well, but we've talked about that anyway. One other thing very briefly before we go, noise complaints. How are we going for noise complaints in Waimak, considering that it's on the rise around Christchurch City?
Look, I anecdotally hear from people where they've got issues. We certainly do get noise issues from time to time, but they're logged and recorded and followed up. I'm not familiar with our latest statistics. I'd have to get those through our staff, but I don't think they're at the same level as Christchurch City. But look, I got called up about a week ago, and it's generally neighbours where there are issues with loud stereos or those sort of matters. So I don't believe there's large numbers, but I would just have to double check that. But we're looking at we outsource after hours. We're looking at contracting there and the effectiveness of that contract at the moment, because noises and certainly barking dogs and all those other things are issues for people, and I generally hear about them when they're not going right.
Yeah, you'd hear about them walking down High Street, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you do, and you hear about them because people contact you or come through Facebook or, and I welcome that because I'm always happy to follow up people. But if people have issues, the thing they should do is ring the council's 0800 number anytime, because it's manned 24 hours. We have an after-hours service. They log it and they send the appropriate person out to investigate.
That's brilliant. And before you go, did you use the COVID Tracer app on your phone this morning?
I did.
Good, excellent.
Yes, I did. And hey, that's something we've all got to be diligent about using. And I must say, sometimes I'm not as diligent as I should be, and I always welcome that reminder. And I see people when they go into the supermarket do it, and it suddenly remembers, because we've fallen into a few habits that we forget. But look, all that work that our government's done and where we've got to as a nation, it's just worth that effort to keep tracing.
Complacency is it's not good.
Look at the countries where it's not working. Hey, I've got a scoop for you, but I won't tell you who it is. But later this morning we'll be announcing Council's new chief executive. So I'm about to release that later this morning. So keep an eye out for that.
Ooh,
there's a scoop for you. You often ask me that, Kerry.
I was about to ask any scoops there again.
You are.
Oh, good on you, new chief executive. Just send us a text and we'll just add it to the press release. Hey,
I'm really thrilled with who announcing, and I'd like to just acknowledge our current CE, Jim Palmer, 17 years, 20 years altogether with the council, but 17 as CE. He's done an outstanding job, and we're in the next phase now. The new CE will start late March, so look forward to welcoming him, and I'll bring him into the studio when he's here and can introduce you to him.
That'd be absolutely fantastic. Dan Gordon, Mayor of the Waimak District, thanks so much for coming in, and we'll see you again next Tuesday. Compass FM.